Eastern game developer Hoyo has had a call for boycott for whitewashing and cultural appropriation in their games, like namely Genshin Impact. However, this has not gone anywhere. People are learning that, maybe these activists on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, aren't real. They don't reflect real life. Maybe these queerdos and woke activists are just on the internet and shouldn't be pandered to. So let's go ahead and dive into this story today. So here you have their change.org petition to stop cultural appropriation by whitewashing in MiHoYo games. Now, apparently this is even some Genshin Impact English voice actors are also accusing the game of whitewashing and racism, taking inspiration from other cultures, but whitewashing it. So they started this. They're calling out a couple different characters from Genshin Impact as examples. And they, through this boycott, which they do have over 100,000 signatures, they want the solution for MiHoYo to engage with indigenous cultural consultants. Okay, they want them to get Sweet Baby inked. Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters. I'm getting so sick of all these DEI characters. Diversity for the sake of diversity. We've seen this ruin games in the West, namely, like crazy. So can we just stop with this crap? But anyway, as reported by Niche Gamer here, the Hoyoverse boycott fails miserably. Zenless Zone Zero earns nearly $100 million. All right, so the ongoing boycott against Hoyoverse, the developer behind Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero has failed spectacularly, as Zenless Zone Zero raked nearly $100 million in July alone, right after launch. I mean, that's a huge launch, $100 million in July. The boycott organizers, through a change.org petition, accuse Hoyoverse of cultural appropriation and whitewashing. The petition, which currently has over 104,000 signatures, accused their games of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, while also demanding the developer commit to accurate representation of all cultures. Why can't games just be fun? Especially in these universes, they're making up their own universes. This is theirs. So it's not real. It's not them falsely representing a culture. It's them making their own. Let them make it how they want to make it. So in particular, the many characters from Sumeru and Natlin in Genshin Impact, and from Penacony in Honkai Star Rail, are all clearly white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception of some enemy NPCs, the latter of which has sparked concerns of racism among players in indigenous communities. The petition further declares, cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities. These practices not only misrepresent cultures, but also contribute to ongoing marginalization and disrespect. It then lists demands. MiHoYo to engage, yes, this is where they want them to get the Sweet Baby Ink treatment. Talk to companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And if you don't know about that, oh my goodness, Sweet Baby Inc. has been responsible for the failure of some games with massive budgets that tanked because of Sweet Baby Inc.'s woke consultation and involvement. All right, so yeah, they want to do all this stuff. In addition to this petition, an X account called HYV Boycott also declares, I think it's safe to say that we have all had enough of the erasure of our cultures and identities. Today, I introduce you all to Boycott Hoyoverse. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott. Spread the word. Anything helps. Then don't play this game. Play a game that represents your culture if you can only play games that represent your culture, which is stupid. But Like, it doesn't have to be this boycott. Play what you like, and all this stuff that does do what you want them to do, especially for the sake of it, they're failing. So you might need to help them. Might need to help them out with their games. Support their stuff, because as we've seen as a trend, is doesn't do so well. It's not doing so well. All of the DEI, Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, not faring well at all. The account adds, there has been a distinct lack of darker skin tones represented in the game. Characters from these cultures are actively being heavily referenced but are being whitewashed. This is especially noticeable in and ever present in not only Sumeru and Natlan, but also in other nations. These practices not only misrepresent said cultures, but also contribute to the ongoing marginalization and disrespect that is perpetuating colorism further in the media, causing even more harm than good to communities and groups of individuals who are a part of them, the account stated. Several voice actors have also voiced their support for the boycott. And Yatko, who voices Raiden Shogun in Genshin Impact, posted, I really hope that a video game company listens to its fan base when valid criticism is made multiple years in a row about the execution of its research and inclusion of elements/aspects of other cultures. Here's the thing about voice actors is a lot of them are very woke, but then there's some of them who aren't, that have to stay quiet. Because voice actors especially, they be getting canceled. It happens. So yeah, a lot of them feel like they have to be quiet. Or you have this vocal one here with on the woke brigade, right? And you see these 24,000 likes. See all of this 6,000 likes here and stuff. But does this actually translate? Not really. Whenever you're seeing actual success for this company. Albedo voice actor Koi Dao also shared on X, if a game draws so heavily from real-world cultures and bases a character on the supreme deity of Yoruba religion, and that character ends up looking like pale Sasuke Batman, people are absolutely within their rights to demand better representation, especially when said game has a clearly stated commitment to a global audience. He added, I hope y'all keeping make your voices heard, and I hope they listen. Dude, that's the thing though, is nobody is thinking that Genshin Impact is trying to be realistic. Nobody thinks Genshin Impact is a historically accurate game. It doesn't pretend to be. Let Genshin Impact have their characters look how they want to have them. The boycott and these actors' complaints seem to have had little to no impact in Hoyoverse's revenue. According to Gacha Revenue, Zenless Zone Zero generated $68.8 million from Chinese players and another $31 million from its global base in July, totaling $99.8 million. Honkai Star Rail earned $21 million from its global player base and another $19.3 million from China, making a total of $40.3 million. This is a decrease from June when the game earned $35 million globally and $60 million in China, totaling $95.5 million. As for Genshin Impact, it grossed $19.3 million in China and another $18 million globally, totaling $37.3 million. This is also a decrease from June when it grossed $38.5 million in China and $29 million globally, totaling $67.5 million. All right, so while Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact saw a drop, Zenless Zone Zero offset this decline combined. See, this is probably has a lot to do with it, as well as a lot of these players of these other games are hopping on Zenless Zone Zero. Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact saw their revenue fall by $85.4 million. However, as mentioned earlier, Zenless Zone Zero pulled in nearly $100 million in its first month. Overall, with Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, Hoyoverse grossed $163 million in June. In July, between Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail, Hoyoverse grossed $177.4 million. That's an 8.8% increase in revenue from month to month. This is also an increase from May, when Honkai Star Rail grossed $55 million in China and another $36 million globally, for a total of $91 million. Genshin Impact grossed $30.3 million in China and another $23 million globally, for a total of $53.3 million. Combined, the two games grossed $144 million in May. July's grosses are 23% higher than May's. What do you make of Hoyoverse's? All right, so anyway, yeah, there's that. Honestly, Genshin Impact, I think, was really fun. But what keeps me from playing Genshin Impact isn't that characters are too white. It's what keeps me from playing it as much as I don't like having to play as set characters. I wanted to create my own character in Genshin Impact. It's literally the only thing that keeps me from playing it right now. But yeah, anyway, I can tell you one thing. And what all of these activists want is they also are constantly pioneering for the uglification of characters, as we've seen happen a ton in the West. And I can tell you that because that's the thing, is there's always this, oh, you're objectifying this character if they make them too cute. So if they start, okay, let's make some of our characters more brown, more tan, more black, this, that, and the other, then if they're too cute, it's going to be, oh no, you're objectifying this character. And so what we constantly see with games right now in the West, there's the uglification of characters, including whenever they do add a diverse cast, for some reason they want to make them as ugly as possible. It's really weird. So I can tell you one thing, these games would be a colossal failure if they implemented those strategies and started uglifying their characters. But hey, looks like they're doing pretty good. They definitely don't need to be listening or paying any attention to this stupid boycott that's not really doing anything. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.